Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage because you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode takes a look at video games based on the comic properties and how well they stick to the source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how these games work, or know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com, the Brain Trust Network, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
From a fallout shelter somewhere under Seattle, Washington, it's the show you've been waiting for. Get ready to join your hosts, John and Kenrick, as they talk comics, movies, and more. Now here's Spoiler Country!
Alright, welcome back to Spoiler Country. I'm Kenrick, and that is Mr. Horsley. And since we had so much fun doing this in the past, we're going to hit you guys with another 3-part episodes of similar characters, Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
Or DC versus Marvel. However you want to do it. It's kind of funny. We did all those, and then we had a conversation on another episode, which I think was, I think we're calling them TOTS now.
Yeah, Tot 5.
Tot 5, the tangent of tangents number 5, which was our previous episode. We talked about Plastic Man and Mr. Fantastic and
Elongated Man.
And Elongated Man. Yeah. And so that kind of spurned, let's do this again.
Yeah. It happened because I was editing the episode to get it up because life, we haven't recorded a bunch recently, but I was editing it to get it up because we need an episode up for this week. And I heard that conversation. I was like, I wonder. So I went and did some research and looked up some more other characters, kind of saw what people are saying they see as similarities in characters, and kind of like, I didn't look at like why they were saying they were similar. I just kind of took the people that were saying, oh, this character is like this character, so we could talk it out like last time.
Yeah. Because
I don't so much care so much what they think that why they're similar. I care why we think they're similar or not, Not to be a dick about it, but so we got another set of 12. We actually have more than 12, but they're the ones we have that are outside this 12 are like teams and ladies and robots and bad guys that we'll do sometime way in the future. But
yeah, we'll do that as a bonus.
Yeah, needless to say, I've done a lot of more silly research, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. So I guess the first one is actually 3 characters.
It is,
and it's Plastic Man from 1941 Police Comics number 1.
Yep.
And that was created by Jack Cole.
That's right.
Thank you for all these notes, Johnny.
You're welcome. Makes you sound really smart, right?
You're right.
Like you know what you're talking about.
I know. I totally know what I'm talking about. Elongated Man from 1960, Flash number 112, who they just introduced him in the TV show, I think last season, or their season before last.
No, they introduced Plastic Man, not Elongated Man.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be Elongated Man.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't. I thought it was Plastic Man.
Well, because I knew Elongated Man was from Flash, so I just thought it was
I think they don't do much with Elongated Man.
Man, if he puts on those Elvis glasses, then it's Plastic Man.
Yeah, most people laugh at Elongated Man because he's like, at least like Mr. Fantastic has the he's with like the Fantastic Four and has his history.
Yeah, we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Let's get through the introducing.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Elongated Man again, 1960 Flash number 112, created by John Broome and Carmine Infantino. Carmine Infantino he's done a lot. He's an important character. He's an important figure.
He's a very important figure in the DC Comics world. He was the publisher for a long time, the editor. He did a ton of stuff.
Yeah, well, just important for comics in general.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then we have Marvel.
Do a whole episode on him.
Yeah, we could. We should actually. This is like he's like the anti-Stan Lee.
Right.
Well, then how would you say he's not the exact opposite, because they're both love comic books.
No.
Not anti. I don't mean anti like in against. I mean,
right.
He just did everything almost the polar opposite of how Stan Lee did things.
Right. And
that's a way to that's pretty accurate, right?
I think so.
Very, very not recluse, but very toned down.
Oh, and to back up for saying, you were right. It is Elongated Man on Flash, not Plastic Man.
Okay. And then, of course, we have the last one we have for this set of 3 here is Mr. Fantastic, 1961, Fantastic Four, number 1, and, of course, created by the epitomis?
The hippopotamus.
Epitome?
Yeah.
Jack
the
Kirby,
hippopotamus.
and then the aforementioned Stan Lee.
Right, exactly. So
Now let's get into it.
all right. Of these three characters, which are like, I mean, they're stretchy characters, which is like, you know, what's your superpower? Oh, I can stretch, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of I mean, it's cool but dumb all at the same time.
It would be cool to be able to do, but it just doesn't. It looks okay in the comic books because, again, it's a comic book.
It looked great in the Incredibles.
Yeah.
Elastigirl.
Yeah, but that's a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but as a character, it's just not very. I don't know. I'm just not very interested in it. It just kind of. I don't know. Just.
I think what sets, like, there's three of them, right? And Elongated Man is very much a lot like Mr. Fantastic as far as like power set, and I mean the different characters. Ralph Denby, the Elongated Man, he is a detective, like he's a detective like Batman. He's a very smart guy. He just happens to be a stretchy guy too. But I always find him super boring in the comics.
I just think it just looks dumb.
It does. And I think Mr. Fantastic is I mean, he's a cool character in so much that he's like a smart guy, he has lots of cool inventions, but his stretchy powers, I think that's kind of dumb. But Plastic Man, I feel differently about, because with Plastic Man, it's like,
Because he's DC.
well, Elongated Man is DC too.
But it wouldn't matter.
And he's not actually DC. He came from a different company.
Who, Plastic Man?
Yeah, he was from Police Comics, which was not DC.
Is he DC now?
He's DC now. DC bought him out, but it was Quality Comics originally.
Yeah. What year did they do that?
They bought him in 1956.
So you've never lived in a world where Plastic Man wasn't with DC?
Only when I time travel.
I see what you try to do there.
It's not because he's DC. It's because I think he's a fun character.
I'm just giving you shit, dude. I'm giving you shit. Or,
I like the fact that he's
or
plastic
am I?
and you're not. You're just being an ass. I know, but it's been a while since we've talked like this, so you've got to get them all in. It's been building up for 2 weeks, man. I know it's a build up. You got to just release it, and let it go out. But it's because he I don't know. It's like the whole Wonder Twin things. He forms into the shape of things, and it's funny. And a lot of stuff he does is I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Like some of the runs he's been doing on, and I wish they would do more. Like Kyle Baker's Plastic Man to me was like one of the greatest series of the early 2000s. I loved it.
Oh, see, I was already. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean he's a silly, ridiculous character, just like Elongated Man, just like Mr. Fantastic. But I think of the three, I think he's the coolest.
Yeah, this is what you like the most.
Yeah, because he's a criminal. He's a criminal turned superhero.
I remember watching Plastic Man on the cartoon when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah, the comedy adventure show, whatever it was.
I don't remember. I just remember his Plastic Man.
Oh, I thought it was. I think it's funny that DC gave him a cartoon in the 70s. Of all characters, they gave him a cartoon.
Well, they had Super Friends going strong, so they needed a B-level character or even a C-level character, and they had They had other things. No, I guess it was just. I mean, they had Super Friends.
Yeah, not really, but whatever.
They had the Wonder Woman TV show at that time too.
Yeah, that's true.
And they had
the Hulk show was on
at the time. Well, that wasn't DC though.
No, it's Marvel. I know.
Yeah. I don't know. So they're all pretty similar though in the power sets, right? I mean, except for, well, I don't know. Can Mr. Fantastic shape himself into something, or is it just literally just stretching himself?
I mean, according to Fan Four Stick, he can, because in Fan Four Stick he can mold his face to look like somebody else.
I'm sorry. What? Fan what?
Fan Four Stick.
What is Fan Four Stick?
The last Fantastic Four movie where they used the 4 as the A, so I call it Fan Four Stick.
Okay.
The one that had Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch.
Yeah.
If you look at the logo, it says Fan, then 4, and then Stick. So it's Fan Four Stick instead of Fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. They use the 4 as an A.
Yeah. So it's Fan Four Stick.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So in that one, he can mold his face to look like to shapeshift into somebody else.
You really are a nerd.
I am a nerd. I know. I don't honestly know if that's a power that he had in the comics. I didn't read a lot of Fantastic Four.
Kind of makes sense. Either did I. You know that I didn't read a lot of Fantastic Four. I did like the Thing when I was a little kid. I loved the Thing on the Fantastic Four cartoon.
Because the Thing is cool. Right?
Yeah.
Like the Thing Hulk battles are awesome. I've always liked the Thing too. But I mean, I'm gonna say they're all similar. They're all pretty much copies of each other.
It's a lot different though, because Elongated Man doesn't change into things.
Yeah,
and let's just say Mr. Fantastic doesn't really do that.
Yeah,
and maybe he did that in the movie, but we're talking about the comic books,
right?
And I don't know of any time, but like we said, I didn't read them. You didn't read them, so we can't really say. But let's assume 99% of the stuff that we've seen, he's never done that.
He's just a stretchy guy, which means him and Elongated Man are very much the same.
But Plastic Man's a little different because
he steps out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. He's more like, I can create constructs with my body.
Right. Oh, he's the body Green Lantern. He's like, using a ring, he uses his body.
That's right. That's where I was going with that. That's kind of funny.
Nice.
So we could say that I was going to say B and C.
Right.
Elongated Man and Mr. Fantastic are very much similar, except for Mr. Fantastic, as at the end of the day, takes the edge for probably being the smartest out of the three.
Right. Clearly.
But Plastic Man's power set is a little different.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good way to do that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I think I just assumed Plastic Man and Mr. Fantastic. See, I was a kid of the late 70s, early 80s, so I saw a Fantastic Four cartoon, and it was probably from the 60s, maybe early 70s, that I was watching, and it had Mr. Fantastic, and then the Plastic Man cartoon came out. So in my mind, Mr. Fantastic always came first.
You know what's hilarious?
Huh.
And I only know this because I just edited the episode. You said the exact same thing in Tot 5.
Oh.
almost word for word.
That's hilarious. So this one's interesting. Now we have... So number 2 we're getting into. And why don't you introduce the next one?
Sure. So number 2 is, again, these are themes of characters. Obviously, these are characters
you
that
may or may not agree
online.
with what's going to come out of John's mouth right now.
That's fine. And you probably won't agree with me, and that's fine. But these are characters that are similar based upon a certain style of their art, of their drawing, of how they act, and it's like how they move. I think is more probably how they move is the best way to link these characters. We got Spider-Man, first appeared in Amazing Fantasy 15 from August of 1962, created by Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, and if you look online, it says Jack Kirby, but Jack Kirby really didn't do anything for Spider-Man. He made a concept drawing, and then Steve Ditko threw it out and made a new one.
He threw it out.
I mean, the concept drawing of original Spider-Man, if you ever see it, was like in a light blue costume, looks like a ripped out man, and has a web shooting gun. Like,
awesome.
It looks nothing like Spider-Man, right? At all.
Yeah.
So he gets great credit as a creator for minor penciling with some early concepts, right? But he didn't actually create. Steve Ditko created Spider-Man.
He's the Bob Kane of Spider-Man,
right? Well, I don't think Jack Kirby really cared. I don't think he fought for it. It's the Kirby. It's all the Kirby lovers out there that do that.
I'm sure. I'm sure he was like, no, that's Ditko's creation.
Right. So I mean, if I can find it, if I can find the sketch of it, I'll throw it in the show notes down below so you can see his original Spider-Man drawing.
There you go.
It's pretty interesting. And then, all right, next up is from DC would be Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Nightwing, obviously. He first appeared, Nightwing first appeared in Tales of the Teen Titans number 44 from July of 84. And he was created by Marv, Wolfman, and George Perez from that classic Teen Titans run. He is an acrobat. He's, very agile like Spider-Man is. He flips around, does all the fancy flippy stuffy. And then the third one on this list, because I think he kind of fits into this whole flippy stuffy fancy acrobat guy, is Daredevil. Now, Daredevil is one of my favorite characters. He was created in 1964 in Daredevil number 1, created by Stan Lee and Bill Everett.
Is that like one of Everett's last creations?
Probably. I mean,
it's got to be close to it, right? Because by that time, he's already been in the comic book realm for 40 years.
Right. He's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And Everett died in 73, so he was only around for 9 years of Daredevil.
Yeah.
9 more years.
I wonder that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We could do a whole episode on him, too. So anyways, I think these characters are similar in the fact that they have similar acrobatic styles and fighting styles. They're all, like, not ninjas, but acrobatic fighting styles, right? They all flip around.
First of all, there's no ninja in the world can beat up Spider-Man. And, and Spider-Man would kick the shit out of both these guys at the same time.
Yes, he would. Absolutely. 100%.
But the one thing that you said when you're introducing it is true. They are all drawn very similar in action poses.
Yeah, they all have the same similar like jumps and flips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, as power sets go, they're so far off.
Well, Daredevil and Dick Grayson are very similar, not in the fact that because Grayson can't or Daredevil can't see, Murdoch can't, but he can sense things. He can see kind of movement. Yeah. He's not completely blind though. He sees like in the comic book he's completely blind. Everything is like sonar.
Yeah, it's like sonar vision. He doesn't actually see anything. He senses where things are, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And like Daredevil was one of my first. He was probably one of my first Marvel characters I loved. And I have I have 2 through 50. I don't have number 1 of his original series, but I have number 2 through 50, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Good luck in getting number 1, man. It just keeps going up and up and up.
Every con I see it, I'm like, oh.
And what's shitty, dude? When in 2014, you could still get it for like $300.
Oh, I know. And I almost bought one in 2014 for like $400.
Yeah.
I was like, no, wait. And then the show came out.
Thank you, Netflix.
The show came out, and now I can't afford shit. But that's fine. I'm happy to see one of my characters getting the love after the Ben Affleck move Mo 3 and people starting to love this character again. So I'm happy to see that happening. But, I think, power set wise, they fight similar, but Spider-Man's clearly the strongest one by a long shot.
Well, you can't even put him in this group of these 3 because it's a different level of Spider-Man's like villains are more dangerous, I guess you could say, or more.
Oh, they're more deadly.
Yeah.
Way more.
Not
deadly.
that they're not deadly with Dick Grayson because he'll fight things like the Joker and stuff. But
he'll fight anybody.
Yeah, it's just over and over again. Spider-Man has to fight people that want to, destroy humanity or take over the world, or
right. Well, it's also going from an A-list character like Spider-Man to.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I love Nightwing and Daredevil, but they're B-list characters. Let's be real about it. They're B-list, and that's fine. They're really awesome B-list characters.
That's right.
And that's cool. But Spider-Man's A-list all the way.
Yeah.
So I think for these 3, they're similar in the way they're drawn. They're similar in the way they fight. But as far as their power sets go, they're very different.
Yeah, they're very different. But it's kind of funny. They're using just different descriptions of power to perform the same actions.
Yeah, that's true. Spider-Man and Daredevil both swing around. Like Daredevil has the stick he uses.
The webbing. Daredevil's baton thing.
The baton thing he flips around. That's kind of like his webbing. And Spider-Man has webbing. And Dick Grayson uses grappling hooks and like flips around. So they all kind of have the same swinging abilities through the cities and shit.
Yeah. It's just the power level that's different. What would you put him as? Like, Spider-Man can beat up all 3.
Spider-Man can kick all their asses. I would think that
Daredevil beat up Dick, or Dick beat up Daredevil. That would be a fight.
That would be a fight. That would be a brawling fight because they're both really good, and neither one of them really have super strength.
Yeah, and neither one of them. The Daredevil's just normal. The only thing is that his sonic kind of ability thing.
Yeah, it's kind of
sonar kind of
there.
Ability thing. That's really that's it. He doesn't have like any, and he gets his ass beat a lot. He's just really, really, really tough.
Yeah, and both him and Nightwing both take a punch really well. So I think that Daredevil and Nightwing it would be a long. I honestly don't know who would win. Daredevil has the advantage because he has the sonar side, which kind of gives him a 360 view, right? Kind of in his head.
Well,
but I don't know.
Man. I think
you can
take it by experience, but then again, Dick Grayson, man, been doing that shit since he was 12, son.
Yeah, Dick Grayson's been doing it a long ass time. He was Robin first, and
so it's hard. That's a hard one. I think the sonar would give him that extra edge.
Yeah, I think the sonar gives the edge, but you gotta pit sonar versus experience. I don't know. It's gonna be tough because they're both. Grayson's not gonna stop until he's knocked unconscious, or dead.
Yeah. Yeah, but Daredevil's not scared to knock your ass out. I don't think he doesn't. Has he ever killed anybody?
In the first little bit he did in his first career, but he tries not to kill. Tries not to.
That's an interesting one, man.
Yeah.
God, man. Now I kind of really want to know who would win that fight because it's like, dang, they are so similar.
Yeah, those two are. Actually, all 3 of them are very similar. But power set. Spider-Man's so much more stronger. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see it because Grayson can kick some ass for sure.
Right.
So that's a fun one. I would love to find out who would win that fight, but that's a different topic for a show.
Yeah, that is a different topic. It's similar. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. They are all drawn the same though.
I'm gonna say they're similar. Because they're all drawn the same. They all fight the same. They all flip around through the city in different ways, be it webbing or the baton stick thingy or grappling hooks. They all are very similar in those key elements there.
Yes, Spider-Man just has them by strength and speed.
Yeah, that's it. That's really it. Just a strength level, but everything else, they're very similar.
That's crazy. So next.
Yeah. I did not expect to come out of that one that way.
Yeah, I didn't expect to come out of that one that way. And it was kind of an awkward one to go over.
Yeah.
Because we had just interruption after interruption. That's kind of funny.
Hey, look, I'm recording this with kids in the house, so I got to pause when they have kids running the room.
Right?
So I'm sorry.
Right?
I apologize.
No, man. You don't have to apologize. It's just funny.
Yeah.
So next we have actually four characters.
Yeah.
And we're going to go Wonder Woman,
Yep.
Thor, not female Thor, the actual Thor, just the
Regular Thor.
Yeah, regular Thor. I guess they're all regular Thors. Captain Marvel,
yeah.
and we're talking Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, not
Yes.
Marvel.
Yeah, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and then Power Princess, who I've never heard of. So Wonder Woman, of course, 1941, All-Star Comics number 8. I think most people, most people might not know that, but they know that she's from a long time ago.
Right.
Created by William Moulton Marsden, weirdo. Not really. He was a weird guy.
He was a weird guy, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Just, well, it's just,
I mean,
he's just a strange guy.
just watch the movie they put out about him. It's actually really good.
Is it good?
It's actually, yeah, it's really good.
I mean,
like it a
I
lot.
couldn't be that way. I couldn't do that. I'm too jealous.
Right. I'm saying I'm like I don't share well.
Also, Harry G. Peter, which is his name is Harry Peter, which is hilarious. I'm sorry, but it
Hey,
is.
I put the G there for his middle name on purpose. All right. Harry G. Peter.
It's
not
Harry Peter. Harry Peter. Oh my God, his school life must have been hell.
Right. He was the artist who first drew Wonder Woman.
Oh my God. And then we have Thor, 1962, Journey into Mystery number 83, which is a great cover, actually. Created by
Classic cover, yeah.
Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby, 3 amazing people in the industry.
Oh yeah.
Then we have Carol Danvers, which becomes Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And Avenging Spider-Man number 9.
Yep.
Is that right?
2012. That's the first appearance of her as Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah.
What was she before?
Well, she was Miss Marvel. She was Binary.
Miss Marvel.
She was.
That was the one
yeah.
that she became in the 1970s.
Yeah, she was Carol Danvers in the 60s, Miss Marvel in the late 70s,
Yeah.
Binary in the 80s.
She had a
Warbird
big
in the
comic book
90s.
run as Miss Marvel.
She did. She had a couple of them.
Okay, and she was
It was in Miss Marvel 18, I think it is. It's the first appearance of Mystique, which is cool.
Yeah. So created by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Terry Dodson.
Yep, they created the Captain Marvel version of her in 2012.
And then we have Power Princess, 1982, Defenders number 112. That's probably why no one knows who she is, Defenders.
I mean, who are Defenders?
Yeah.
Although it had 100 issues. I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, no, they just did a freaking Netflix movie on it, or a TV show
Right.
on them, so...
yeah.
So created by GM DeMattei, who we need to get on. We had him scheduled.
I know.
Things got messed up. We need to get him on. And
Yeah.
Don Perlin.
Yep, he was the artist. Yeah. So these
How do these connect?
how do these 4 connect, right? I can tell you how Wonder Woman and Thor connect, right? Because they're both kind of godlike entities from this like ancient time, you know? Like
Well, Thor is actually picked right out of the Norse mythology.
right.
Wonder
right.
Woman is an amalgamation. Basically, she's Hercules as a girl. And
Pretty much, yeah.
And taken into that whole Greek mythology, which is cool. I mean, they did a
Yeah.
little bit more with her, obviously, but that's really what I think Marsden probably had in mind.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how they connect. They're both like the children of gods and have these godlike powers and kind of are the people out of time. You know, because they told Thor and them are kind of like they step out of the old time into current day, and at least originally, right? So,
Right. I don't know who Power Princess is. I honestly don't even. I don't even know what she looks like. I don't remember ever hearing about Power Princess. And this is like 1982, man. This is when I was like reading a ton of Marvel comic books, and I don't remember ever seeing her. But I didn't read Defenders, so
yeah.
was she in anything else?
She was in Squadron Supreme. She was in Supreme Power in the 2000s by J. Michael Straczynski. She's and this is kind of funny. She is a partner of Hyperion, who is a Superman clone.
Right.
So, I mean, if they're going to make a Superman clone, they might as well make a Wonder Woman clone too. Basically, from what I can read on it, because I didn't know who she was either, really. I mean, I'd heard the name before because it's Princess Zarda, right, in the Marvel Mystic world, whatever.
I'm seeing her now. This is the first time I've ever remember seeing her.
Yeah, but like I read up on her a little bit, and basically it sounds like she was kind of like they took Wonder Woman and kind of changed things but copied her, right? They wanted a Wonder Woman-esque character to drop into their comics, and so this is what they made. Power
Can't
Princess.
really blame them for that.
Which, yeah, well, I mean, Power Princess is the dumbass name. I'm not gonna pretend it's a cool name, right?
Well, it sounds like something Mattel would put out.
Right. It sounds like it should be on He-Man or She-Ra.
Yeah, that would make She-Ra is the Princess of Power, so
right. I mean, there you go.
That's kind of funny. And then we got Carol Danvers sitting in the middle of all this.
I don't think she belongs in this era. Like, besides her being a powerful female character, that's really the only thing that puts her with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, well, Power Princess and Wonder Woman makes sense because if you go and you look at them, they do look. They basically look exactly alike, and there's some of the costumes they had on her earlier, even more so. Some of the later ones look like they've gone away to make her look quite a bit different.
Right.
But she looks to have the same type of mentality and the same type of mannerisms as Wonder Woman. From what I'm seeing, I don't know. I don't have enough to know about it.
Right.
But I can kind of you can see it right when you see it. And Thor makes sense. Captain Marvel, I mean, she's strong.
Right.
I mean, she should be just as strong as Wonder Woman.
But what other similarities are there besides her being
they can
strong
fly.
Female, They
can both fly. I mean, what other power set does Captain Marvel have? I don't.
She has laser beams or beams out of her hands she can shoot out. I mean, I don't think she's really anything like Wonder Woman, to be honest, besides just being a strong woman.
Yeah.
I think it's the only thing that's there. And again, this foursome wasn't one that I created. It's one that I found online that I wanted to talk about because it's like, why is Captain Marvel in here?
Yeah, I mean, besides that, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I can kind of see the other three, but I don't even know enough about Power Princess that I can say that she should be in there either. Based on what she looks like, I could see her being,
Yeah. It kind of feels like Power Princess is the Wonder Woman version of Hyperion, pretty much, for Superman's Hyperion.
Yeah.
Because, like, reading about it, she's very much like Wonder Woman, but different. There's bad versions of her. There's sometimes where she's bad or good, and it's weird. And, like, I don't know. I think it's just like another version of Hyperion where Marvel tried to copy a popular DC character for whatever reason, which is fine. I mean, whatever. She's not popular. She's not a big character, I mean, obviously, neither one of us really knew who she was. So.
Oh, yeah, dude. Prince Earth 712. I mean, so she's not on. So we're on Earth 616. That's the main continuity for Marvel.
Yeah.
And she's on Earth 712. Lived on Utopia Isle, a small island in the Southern Sea, untouched by outside civilization. Hello, Themyscira. Utopia is believed themselves to be the result of genetic experimentation conducted by Homo sapiens by the alien Kree. So it kind of ends, I mean, right there, it gets all kind of weird and...
Right.
But yeah. So she's from an island in the South Pacific.
There you go.
Maybe not quite the same, but still a small island untouched by civilization. I mean, you can't...
Very similar.
You can't get much past that.
No.
Yeah, that's a weird... It's a weird comparison. I get the Wonder Woman Thor comparison. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Captain Marvel fits in this, but I think the other three, you can argue the other three pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think, why do they think Captain Marvel?
I think it has to be strong female. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
But you got Thor in there. Unless they were talking about... But they're not talking about Jane Foster as Thor.
No, they're talking about regular Thor.
So why is Thor in there? It can't just be about powerful women. You're comparing the four. So what four besides... strength? But if you just took strength, you could basically compare 98% of the frickin' superheroes out there.
Exactly right. You could do She-Hulk. You could do.
Well, anybody.
Rogue.
Hulk, She-Hulk,
yeah.
Spider-Man, Iron Man,
yeah,
Thor.
It has to be more just one ability, right? It can't just be strength.
Wolverine. I mean, they all have strength. Superman.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so what is it? Besides, I mean, two are from space.
Right, 2 are from space and 2 are from an island.
I'm trying to wrap my head around how do you connect all 4 of these together, and I just can't do it.
I can't connect Captain Marvel besides female. That's it.
Yeah, but then you leave out Thor.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't see. I mean, I can connect Wonder Woman to Thor. I can connect Wonder Woman to Power Princess, but I can't connect Power Princess to Thor.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
We'll say some of these are similar, but not all of them. Right? I mean,
I just don't get it.
although I do want to say this real quick. On Power Princess's Wikipedia page, I was skimming through it as we're talking here, and it says down under the Supreme Power version of her, which is like the bad version, I guess.
Okay.
Later, she fights and easily beats the Ultimate Universe's equivalent of the Wrecking Crew, as well as the Hulk. After a short battle with the Hulk, she and the Hulk have sex.
Wow. Okay.
Like, all right. So she beats him up, then they do it. So there you go.
She has sex with the Hulk.
She was celebrating her victory with her defeated person.
That's so weird.
Yeah. That caught my eye when I was reading.
In the comic book, they had sex in the comic books?
I mean, it has to be because they're talking about it here during the storyline. So
comic books are so weird sometimes.
Right. I mean,
it's like I get they want to push the boundary, but really, sex with the Hulk?
Right. I mean, that can't be. That just sounds bad.
well, there's there's the whole size thing going on.
There's a size thing, and like the Hulk is the Hulk because he's angry. So how is he angry during sex?
That's just crazy angry sex, man.
Right? That's some violent sex. I don't want to talk about the Hulk sex anymore. Okay, I don't want to talk about Hulk having sex. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have those conversations. This isn't Mallrats, all right?
I'm pulling the plug on this. That's what he said.
Of God.
The Hulk. I mean.
Yeah, the Hulk said, "Pull the plug." No.
Pony man. Oh God.
All right, so I'm done with that one now. I'm done.
So that was interesting. That was the first 4. We have 4 more coming at you guys probably next week or the week after that, right?
Oh, we have one more. That was only 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I got thrown off by the Hulk sex.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was 3 sets of 3 and 4s. We have one more if you want to go to the next one list, which is a twofer.
Yeah, let's do the twofer. I mean, it's that way 4. We have 12 to do, and that gives us 3.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a 3-part saga.
It's the second part of it's a second 3-part saga. Whatever.
Right. Well, this one's kind of different than because like you bring it up the 4 that we just talked about with Thor, Power Princess and stuff. You know, we were talking about how are these similar, and we couldn't figure it out.
Right. It's like I don't get it, but the next one's pretty easy, I think.
Okay.
It's easy to say that they're similar in one aspect, and easy to say they're not similar in a different aspect. Right.
Right.
So up next is the last one for this episode, and we've already done one of these characters before, but that's okay. We can revisit a character. It's okay, guys. Don't freak out. Is
Who
Batman?
Are you talking to? That was kind of condescending.
I was talking to our listeners who are getting upset at us for reusing a character.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get more upset with you being like a dick to them, man.
Probably.
It's just a little bad, man. Don't you worry about it.
I was trying to go for comedic effect, and apparently I failed.
Okay, go.
It's Batman and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which there's a great little gif of like Batman and Iron Man solving problems by throwing money at each other. That's how they fight.
That's hilarious. These are more. I think. Well, finish doing the introduction. And then.
Okay, so Batman created in 1939. Detective Comics number 27, created by Bill Finger and Bob Kane.
Bill Finger over Bob Kane. I see there.
Of course. And then Iron Man 1963, Tales of Suspense number 39, created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby.
It's a lot of people for that one guy.
That is, and I read up on it a little bit, and it's because different artists drew different, like I think Jack Kirby drew the first suit, and then Don Heck drew the second suit, so it was like kind of like they each created part of the suits, so they all get credit for creating them, something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, now these two characters are similar in they're both rich, they're millionaires, billionaires, however you want to say it. They use their money to feed their addiction. Their ego and their addiction to fighting crime, right? I mean, let's be honest, they're addicted to fighting crime.
Yeah.
Right. And they use that money to do that. Now, I think originally, if we would have this conversation in the 70s, I don't think you could say Batman and Iron Man were very similar, besides the money. Because a lot of the tech Batman had was his cars, was his toys, but not like his suit. Right. For a long time, his suit was just his suit. And he had his utility belt and his fancy cars and the bat planes and the bat pods and the bat whatevers. But he didn't really have a tech suit. Now, today's Batman is basically Iron Bat, you know. He basically wears an Iron Man suit, and his Batman suit is full tech all the time.
Yeah.
So I think modern Batman in the last like 20 years
What do you think?
Iron Man
Where'd
are
that
very
start?
similar. Where'd that start? Well, I mean,
You know what I'm talking about? Where did the suit tech start? You think it started with
Dark Knight?
Christopher Nolan's run?
No, it was in the comics before that.
You think it was the Dark Knight when he did the Iron Bat with the electrical?
I think that was probably that's the earliest I can remember him wearing.
But that was more like an armor kind of thing. That wasn't like high tech.
No, but it's like it was the beginnings of like him starting to wear more armored technical suits. And I think, you know, in like the early 2000s, he have like late 90s or 2000s, he would have like, you know, the readers on his eyes, the computer screens and shit, and started adding more and more to that. I mean, he hasn't gone as far as have like the bleeding edge type armor Iron Man has, where it's nanobots and shit, but he definitely has more. It's probably coming, I know, probably, but he's definitely become like DC's Iron Man as far as what he creates and the suits he wears. And these fantastical things. Who's smarter?
Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne? I mean, if you go by the movies, Tony Stark is much, much smarter.
Right.
But in the comic books, who's smarter?
Well, in the comic books, Batman creates most of his stuff himself, right? Batman invents his
they don't
gadgets.
talk about that. They like when you watch the movies, they don't ever say about, because he's like a chemist and everything as well.
Yeah. In the movies, in the Nolan movies, it's Lucius Fox who creates all of his shit. Which, I mean, that's in the comics too. In the 70s, 80s, I mean, Lucius Fox is there and he creates a lot of stuff for Batman too. And Batman has a whole team and shit in the background and stuff. But I think when it comes to inventions and science and that kind of stuff,
more sense.
Huh?
It would. I was just thinking out loud. It kind of makes more sense that Batman would have people on the like behind the scenes, making sure all this shit is working, everything. You know what I mean? Tune-ups, doing all that kind of stuff, building this, building that. Check out his suit, almost like his own private MI6.
Yeah.
Is it MI6 where James Bond comes out of and they make everything? That to me, in my mind, makes a lot more sense
than one guy.
I mean, because even with Tony Stark, he still has a company that you know what I mean, he uses to build everything.
Right, but Tony Stark's doing all the inventing and all that shit himself, which is fine.
Well, you see him doing the prototype stuff, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
But he's automated everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, to me, it would be kind of cool if they took Batman in that direction. I know everybody likes him to be solo and brooding, but in my mind, to suspend my disbelief to the point that I need to believe in what I'm reading.
Right.
You'd have to have a team for all the shit that he does.
You have to. I mean, you have to. Now, I think you ask who's smarter. I think when it comes to science and inventing, Iron Man is smarter.
Yeah.
Right? Clearly. But I think when it comes
to...
well, I mean, I think
just
so.
Funny
right?
the way you said it. Go.
Well, I think when it comes to like problem solving, detective work, ingenious, like figuring things out, it goes
puzzle
to Batman
work?
all the way.
You think it goes,
puzzle work.
You think it goes to Batman on the puzzles?
That goes to Batman all the ways. Is the figuring stuff out, the problem solving, the analytical thinking of like of figuring out what someone's going to be doing, like the combat training, not combat training. Sorry, the like combat readiness as far as like tactical training and to predict what's going to happen and shit like that, and like be preparedness. That's going to be all Batman. But as far as like inventions and science and that kind of stuff, is going to be Iron Man all the way. Because if you compare the two of them, like who's better at like planning for a fight, it's going to be Batman. Right, Batman's going to win that.
Who wins in a fight?
Iron Man, 100% Iron Man.
The first time
he has fucking repulsor beams. He's going to blast him out of the. He's just going to blast him up. I mean,
how about they fight 10 out of 10 times? Who wins more often?
Probably Iron Man. I mean, it depends. It depends. So this is a tough question, right? So with Iron Man, it's like okay, he's in an Iron Man suit. He has repulsor beams and missiles. In Batman, is he wearing a regular Batman suit? Is he wearing a tech Batman suit? What suit is Batman in?
Well, let's think about it. Now, the first time they meet, Iron Man's probably gonna win. But if Batman knows the next 9 times that they're meeting, who's gonna win then?
Well, if you say 10 times and each battle's like comes after the first battle before, not just 10 fights, with no preparation, but it's like they fight once,
take it how you want to take it.
Right. Well, okay, if they're just meeting up and fighting, Iron Man's probably going to kick Batman's ass because Batman's not going to have any kind of tech to take him out.
Right.
Right. If they fight, Batman loses, they come back. Each time Batman's going to be more and more prepared for the Iron Man suit and have a suit of his own. So it's going to become more even out that way. But if it's a fight to the death,
because you take them out of their suits, Batman's kicking the shit out of them.
Oh yeah, if out of the suits, Bruce Wayne versus Tony Stark. Tony Stark's going down, and he's going down hard.
Tony Stark's going down.
Yeah, he's going down fast and hard,
bell.
man.
Ding, 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 ding. This guy is done.
But I'm not a Batman fan that subscribes to with enough prep time, Batman can beat anybody. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that 100% because no matter how much prep time he has, he's not going to beat the Flash. Right. I mean, I don't care.
But I think
he's
you
not going to do it.
argued that when I said that the Punisher could beat. Well, who did I say would beat? Spider-Man. I said Spider-Man would beat Batman, and I think if we go back, we have a. What episode was that?
We should ask Dennis.
Yeah, because you were like, oh no, with enough prep time,
I know, but to be fair, I was just playing that asshole in that episode. I really don't believe the whole prep time shit with Batman. I think Batman's a flawed character, which makes him interesting. I think the whole Batman can never lose bullshit makes him boring. Iron Man's has this, he's obviously, I mean, if you're going real world, Iron Man's just going to kill him anyway, so Batman would win that way. Yeah. But
Iron Man's suit would kill who? Tony Stark?
Yeah, I mean, in the real world, the first time Iron Man banks a turn, he's knocked out unconscious and dies. I mean, like if you put a man in a metal suit and bank them at Mach 2, they're going to die.
You sure?
Your brain can't handle that kind of a turn, man. Like it's just going to knock you out in that suit. Like,
oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the centrifugal force of the brain inside your head would get hit. Not so much. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Exactly. So, but we're not talking real world. We're talking.
But people go over Mach 2 in planes now.
But Iron Man banks 90-degree turns at Mach 2.
Oh, you're talking about when they're like, he does a 90-degree turn out of nowhere.
That first turn he makes is going to end dead.
That would be funny.
But I don't know, man. Yeah, I think Batman could come back with the suit, and it would even out over time. But I mean, first fight, Iron Man's going to win, and I hate saying that because I think Iron Man's a chump. But
why don't you like Iron Man?
I like him in the movies. I think Robert Downey Jr. does a great job playing Tony Stark.
Is it Robert Downey Jr. more than the writing itself?
Yeah, it really is. I like Robert Downey Jr. a lot in this role.
Yeah,
and
he was awesome in Infinity War, man.
Dude,
Earth is closed today.
Right. I just watched that movie the night with Kaylee, and it was so great.
Oh God, so good.
She loved it. But I don't know. I'd never been a fan of his. I always thought he was kind of lame in the comics.
Iron Man.
Yeah. But I mean, it's whatever. If you like him, you like him. It's cool. I just wasn't a fan of that character.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a big Iron Man fan either. I mean, I have Iron Man #1 just because it was a cool one to have. But I've never been I've never collected them except for that one that I got. That was it.
I had a couple as a kid. I mean, I think I have like one or two. I had Iron Man Submariner #1, which just because I thought it was kind of funny they put those two characters in the comics together. You know? But I mean, I never liked him, but I do think he would beat Batman in a fight. So.
Yeah. Well, Batman's getting kind of old too now, which is weird to say.
Yeah.
But I think we discussed that in Batman Ninja that he's become such a commodity that's all you get from DC anymore. They just stuff Batman down your throat.
I know. I'm kind of sick of Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Batman, but I'm kind of sick of Batman. Like Batman was my favorite character for a long time. I loved Batman, but then it's just there's so much Batman and so much Batman can beat anybody. And it's like,
they did Justice League Dark and they had him in it.
Right.
Why is Batman in Justice League Dark?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in that movie.
He could be at the beginning, saying da 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 da. But why does he have to be in the movie? It's just like he wasn't really annoying in it, but he was annoying that he was there.
I know. I didn't get that. It's like we can press the brakes on Batman a little bit. Let like Wonder Woman shine. Let Superman shine. Let the Flash. Let other characters shine.
I got annoyed that Batman. I wasn't annoyed with Batman the character because they did it okay. It wasn't like actually annoying that he was there, but I was annoyed that he was there.
Right, because it's like everything has to have Batman. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, because he's not in I don't think he's even in a Justice League comic book. Justice League Dark comic book. I could be wrong. Don't get me. Don't quote me on that.
He shows up in like one somewhere, but I mean, not really. Because he does show up because he talks to Constantine about like being a Justice League branded team or some shit like that. But I mean, it's not a big deal. He's not off fighting with them and shit like that. I remember. I mean, I don't know. I'm just so sick of Batman being in everything, and Batman. You have to have Batman.
You don't have to have him in everything.
That was my biggest beef with Batman v Superman. when they announced that and it came out.
Yeah.
That was my biggest bitch about that movie because one, it was like they made Man of Steel and they're making a sequel with Batman, putting Batman's name first and then making it about Batman. It's like fuck, come on. It's annoying, you know?
That's kind of funny the way you put that.
Well, I mean, it's true, right?
It's like I told them once, I told them 1,000 times. Spinal Tap, then.
But I mean, it's fucking true, dude. They made a sequel to Superman and then put Batman in it, give him the title Bill, and he's in the movie more. It's like, fuck. Could you as a company, you know, baby a character and like push him any harder than that, you know?
Well, it's all Batman all in, man. I mean,
I know.
Batman by himself is almost $1 billion a year industry.
Oh, I know. And it's because like, you know, and it's like the toy thing, you know, like they put out like the Justice League series and there'll be 4 different Batmans and then one of each other character, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, because the Batman ones just sell out.
Yeah. Because people will buy Batman, Nightmare Batman,
they
Armored
love it,
Batman,
you know,
bent over Batman, hockey Batman.
I don't really care about the toys, and they can have all the comic book series they want because you just buy the ones you want. But when it comes to the animated series, that's when I want them to do some more stuff. And
yeah.
I went and watched. Because you kept dogging on King of Atlantis or Throne of Atlantis.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you like that one? It's not that bad. It's like it's an Aquaman show. I mean, how good is it going to be? It's an Aquaman movie. I thought it was fine. I don't know. I watched it. I didn't go, oh, this sucks. I thought it was weird.
Maybe I'll watch it again and we'll come back and do an actual review on it with, you know, and kind of talk about it. But I remember hating it. I remember hating it each time I watched it.
You said you tried watching it not too long ago and you had to turn it off.
It was like, to be fair, it was probably about a year ago. I tried to watch it. I turned it off because I was like, this is just garbage.
But that's so funny.
I will give it. I own it, so I'll give it another watch.
You know, well, if you have Hulu, you know all the DC movies are on Hulu except for.
Are they?
Yeah, except for the latest one.
Then I will watch that on there because that's easier to find the DVD because all my DVDs and Blu-rays are packed up.
Yeah, because I was like on Hulu the other day and I was like, oh my god, all of the DC movies, a ton of the Marvel movies. Like I just watched Hulk versus this morning before work.
Hulk versus is so good.
Yeah,
I love that one.
I had it playing in the background when I was getting ready for work.
Nice.
So there you go. That's a good more awkward ending, but we have more to come. And we got a lot going on out there. Hey, so,
do you want to do the teaser for the next one?
Yeah, let's do the teaser for the next one.
Go for it. Do it in your movie voice.
Oh, hold on.
Come on, get in a character.
All right. Let's see here. Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, Reptile or Beast Boy, Ghost Rider or the Atomic Skull, Banshee and the Silver Banshee. Find out next week on Spoiler Country.
But probably not next week. Probably future.
Now it's going to be next week because I said
it has to be. Now it has to be because you said it. So all right, there we go. Next week.
There you go. That was our preview.
Hey, so we should do some announcements because we didn't do them in the beginning, so we should do some announcements now.
Okay.
Because we have a couple. Yeah. Right. We are going to be at Rose City Comic Con in Portland.
What?
Next week, September 7th, 8th, and 9th.
No way. Did you get yourself a hotel down there?
Yeah, I got a hotel down there. So we're treating it as our last little family vacation of the year.
Yeah.
So we're taking all the kids down there. We got we got press passes to Rose City and to Playfair, right?
Yeah.
And today we got an email for nerd makeup, which is pretty cool.
Nerd alert.
Right. So Kaylee's excited because we're gonna go talk to these people about their makeup and see what they have to offer us, and it's gonna be cool. And then we also have RenCon, which is sometime in the future. I'm not gonna do dates. I don't remember them all. We got passes to RenCon, so we'll be there. We'll be at Jet City.
RenCon it's in late September, or
it's like September 15th. I think it's actually the next weekend after Rose City, I believe. But I don't have my notes in front of me now, so
something like that. Yeah,
no, it's definitely in September. And then Jet City is in the first week of November, I believe. So we'll be there at that one in Tacoma. And we're also going to be in Silverdale, Washington at the OCE, the Olympic Comic Expo. We actually have a table there, so you actually come be able to see us and talk to us and like see what we're doing and have fun. We'll have a table there for the first time.
Yeah. When is Jet City?
Jet City, I think, is November 4th, 3rd and 4th, I think.
Quick.
That. Yeah, it is. I love Jet City. It's one of my favorite shows.
And RenCon is September 15th.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be there for that.
Yeah. So there you guys go.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we are heard everywhere podcasts are heard.
And if you want to talk to us, you can talk to us at any of the aforementioned shows I talked about. We'll be there. You can talk to us all day long. We'll be happy to. You can. Oh, did you see that? Steve from Baked and Awake's going to be at RenCon.
I did see that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I told him I'm still going to. He's going to be recording. I'm going to crash his show and go talk to him on his show. So that's going to be fun. And if you haven't checked out Baked and Awake, go check it out. It's pretty interesting. If you want to talk to us, you can talk to us on Twitter at @spoiler_country. We're there all day long. I'm always on there talking to people and tweeting things out and doing random shit. On Instagram, on Facebook, on all the social medias, just search for Spoiler Country, and you'll find us. You can hit us up an email at spoilercountry@gmail.com. You can hit up our website, scpod.net, for reviews on comics, reviews on movies and books, and all of our episodes. Awesome stuff there. You can call us I forgot our phone number. 707-656-2080. Again, 707-656-2080. It's been 2 weeks. I haven't said it repetitively, so I kind of forgot what it was.
You have a long outro. You know what I mean?
I know, it's so long. You're just like, everywhere partners go. Go, John. Talk for 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
Well, it makes up for you having the intro of every episode, right? I get the outro.
There you go. See, you can make the outro however you want.
That's right. And I think that's it. I mean, we'd love to talk to you. If you like our show, tell us. Give us ratings on iTunes, 5 stars, nothing less.
Tell us. We're not beggars. We don't beg.
Yeah. That's
please,
right. If you don't like our show for some reason, don't give us a rating. Just email us and tell us.
I'm gonna kill this puppy if you don't. What?
Yeah, he's gonna kill his own puppy. All right, dude, that's it.
Are we done?
We're done. We're done.
All right, don't forget to open your mind
and read more. See ya. What an episode.
We are ridiculous.